The following gameplay is from a fan-made game currently in development that is inspired by the events of Rooster Teeth's animated web series RWBY. The creator is in no way affiliated with Rooster Teeth, the RWBY team, or myself, and I am not being paid or sponsored to play their game in any way. This game contains content not suitable for all audiences, and will feature descriptions, but not graphic visuals, of violence, strongly suggested sexual situations, and bad puns. For a full understanding of the game, I highly recommend that you are familiar with RWBY's storyline up to at least Season 3, though other events that are not revealed until later seasons are hinted at. For this reason, I do highly urge you to support the official release and watch all of RWBY over on www.roosterteeth.com. This game is incomplete, and is regularly being updated with new features, patches, fixes, and new content. As new items and events are released, I will endeavor to fit them into my story where applicable, or describe what they are if I've already passed them. Errors, missing content, and glitches are expected, so please bear with the content creator and myself and enjoy the game as it is presented to you. Hello everyone, this is ArcAlpha12 here at ArcAlpha Studios and ArcAlpha12 Plays, and today we continue our playthrough of JPDE. In the last episode, we managed to test out, I was recently informed it's actually pronounced Yanni, so Yanni Claustros, which is David's gauntlets and whip, and RWBY was there supervising alongside Penny. But unfortunately, Evelyn was in a bit of a funk, and she has been in a bit of a funk since meeting with Headmaster Ozpin. It has something to do with our companion, but she's not willing to tell us. So we're going to go and basically go into this new test, which is about to start today, more or less completely blind. We don't know who our fourth teammate is. I mean, obviously you can see on the screen this is our fourth teammate, but we don't know anything about her, aside from the fact that she has distressed Evelyn, and Evelyn doesn't want to talk about it. So with that in mind, and with nothing else holding us up, let's oh, oops, that was the wrong button. There we go. Let's get started with Headmaster Ozpin explaining to us what's going to happen with our test. This is the Emerald Forest. Don't look down, don't look down, don't look down. Oh God, I looked down! And it's going to be the location of your exam. What is our objective, Headmaster? Objectives, Miss Polendina. First, you are going to track down and group up with the last member of your team. She's already in the forest, waiting for you. Afterwards, you will track down your target. Target? A creature of Grimm, stronger and bigger than the ones that usually nest so close to Vale, has appeared in the Emerald Forest. You will find this creature and destroy it. So we're actually looking for trouble? Oh joy. What kind of Grimm? Ozpin shakes his head. You won't always have the luxury of knowing what kind of enemy awaits you beforehand, Mr. Decapitus. Always gonna mispronounce that name. So, we need to enter the forest, find our fourth and final member, track down this unknown Grimm, and kill it. Yes. Take your positions. Ms. Goodwitch points to 3 discolored patches of grass on the ground, motioning for us to stand on them. I guess we're going to be teleported to the forest? Or maybe it's a slide? I hope it's not a slide. One last thing. As it is customary for Beacon, the first person that you lay eyes on upon entering the forest will be your partner for the next 4 years. What? But Headmaster, I thought... Thought what, Miss Polendina? Why is Penny looking at me like that?
Nothing, Headmaster.
And why is Evelyn looking at me like that?
And to make things fair, you're all going to get launched at the same time.
Oh no. He did not just say what I think he's... You great asshole! What in the blazes was that?
I wish you vermin were smart enough to know when to stay down. Now, I bet that was my male teammate. Husband told me the bloke was complete amateur after all.
Okay, so the character I'm speaking as right now, I really honest to God believe that she should be British, because the use of the word bloke and the fact that she uses bloody throughout this game a couple of times really makes me feel like she should have a British accent. But that, you know, I don't know. That's just how I feel. Those are typical terms that just immediately think, oh, okay, she's English. Got it. I can't do a British accent. I'm not even going to attempt to. I might attempt to. We'll see. But just keep it in your mind that I really believe that she should be British. And if I try to do an accent, it's probably going to be completely butchered to high heaven, but I might try it anyway. Now that I said it, I'm like, no.
Hope he's experienced enough to survive his landing.
Well, that was enlightening. I now know two things. First, I now know two things. First, with enough trees in my way, Aura can even help me survive a fall from that height. Second, it doesn't stop the pain from happening, because my everything hurts. It's already fading, but ugh, I need to close my eyes. Focus on recovering, like the girls taught me. For a few seconds, or is it minutes? For a brief interval of time, all that there is me, my pounding headache, and the forest. Then, thank the gods you're alive. An unfamiliar voice reaches out to me. Then light experience footsteps, which take care to make the least noise possible, as if trained to do so. Their source stops right beside me, and now stands between me and the morning sun. How do you feel? Anything broken? The voice is lower than Penny's or Evelyn's, but still definitely a female. There's no bubbliness or cuteness in it, but something more mature and hard? No, Aura's already taken care of the rest. It just hurts. Least you could expect, considering the height you fell from. And the number of branches I hit on my way down, too. She chuckles. It was guttural, low, her mouth probably closed as she laughed at my words. Can you stand? Let me help you up. She's offering to help me stand. Probably offering me her hand, too. I guess I can at least open my eyes. My head doesn't pulsate that bad anymore anyway. Yeah, she's nothing like Penny or Evelyn. For one, she's tall. Almost as tall as me. Her skin is unlike any I can remember. A golden bronze which only serves to further highlight her impressive physique. I mean, wow. I've lost my memory, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone with such a defined body. It's just at the border between attractiveness and buffness. Grimm got your tongue? Damn it. What is it with me, pretty girls, and staring? I think I answered my own question in that sentence. Sorry about that. I imagine you're our third teammate? And your partner. Oh, right. There's also that. I groan and raise my torso off the ground, extending my right hand. I feel enveloped in a firm grip as she pulls. My name's David D. Cabadigas.
Jacqueline B. Ivory, but you can call me Jack. So, it's funny because she was wearing a completely different outfit from this one, and I know they just don't have the sprite for it, but I kind of wish they did, because it would make a lot more sense than seeing this costume after seeing the costume we just were shown. Anyway, so, how the heck did you end up flying through the air and crash landing on the Emerald Forest? Same way you got here, probably? You mean walking? What do you mean, walking? What I said! I walked to the Emerald Forest. You walked to the Emerald Forest? Yeah! So, unless your semblance allows you to walk on air... God damn it, Headmaster! What the hell?! The Headmaster used some kind of hidden panels on the cliff overlooking the forest to launch us. He did what? Grimm on a pike? That's crazy! Then again, that's just like him. You mean the Headmaster is prone to do stuff like that? Like toss students off dangerous heights? You don't know the half of it. I've known him for... I have never seen such creatures in my life, but a conversation I've had with Evelyn comes to mind. Made of shadows, with a mask of bone and eyes of crimson. The natural enemy of mankind. Unrelenting, insatiable, with an exclusive appetite for human flesh or hate for human life. The creatures of Grimm. You've never seen one before. As Jack places her right hand on my left shoulder, I realized that I had been clenching my right hand pretty hard. My left hand was already grasping at the hilt of Yanni's whip. I licked my upper lip, noticing my heavy perspiration as the pack of wolf-like creatures growls and slowly prowls closer to us. Scary critters, aren't they? They're a bit too big to be called critters, I think. There you go. Fall back on what's familiar. Relax enough that you won't freeze. She lets go of my shoulder, only to place her back against mine. But not too much that you become careless. These things have a nasty habit of surprising you. They don't scare. They don't care about missing limbs, and they keep coming until either party is dead. I swallow, my hand slowly extracting my whip. The Grimm on my right snarls in my direction, and its claws dig into the ground. How's your aura? Not completely full, but recovering. I feel her back muscles flex and hear a sound of machinery coming from her front. More than enough for a few bear wolves. Just keep calm and aware of your surroundings, and don't forget. I feel her right fist bump me on the left thigh. We're in this together, alright? That actually does make me feel better. Thanks, Jack. You're welcome. Now. Hey! Pseudo-flea bags! I almost jump out of my skin and extract my whip fully. The pack snarls and howls, tongues wetting sharp chops, backs arching and claws digging into the ground. Yeah, I'm talking to you, fur coat rejects. Come and get some! So this is a good example of what the second type of battle situation is, where it's very similar to like Final Fantasy. There we go. Alright, next. No next, mate. That was the last of them. Good job. Wait, what? I look around the clearing. It's now empty except for me, Jack, and a few black shapes slowly dissipating into smoke. My eyes widen as I realize that in the time it took me to defeat 2 of them, Jack dispatched the rest of the pack. Only for a moment, though. I'm a fighting amateur, while Jack is much more experienced than me. What is there to be surprised about? You broke out of the freeze phase pretty quickly. Not too shabby fighting skills either. Nah, you're just saying that. No, seriously. You're way better than I thought you'd be. When Ozspin told me you were a total amateur, I half expected I'd have to carry you to the goal bridal style. That'd make hunting down a Grimm pretty difficult. Oh, so that's what we're to do? Yeah. Track down and destroy a particularly nasty Grimm and meeting up with the last member of our team. Who, of course, finds David first and becomes his partner. Hi, I'm Penny. So that's what's on their minds? They wanted to be my partners? I'm sorry they got sad because of it, but I kind of feel happy knowing that. Jack, these are my friends, and your 2 other teammates. She's Penny, and the other girl is you! Me! We meet again, murderer! Stop calling me that or I swear to gods, What are you even doing here? Oh? Didn't you hear your partner, Poisoner? I'm one of your new teammates. No. For the next 4 years. Over my dead body! Oh, if you insist, allow me! Ha! Bring it on, carrots! I'll tie your ears on a double overhand and beat the gray-haired asshole to a bump with your furry ass! Okay, time out! I move between the 2 girls, stretching my arms out to the side so as to increase the dangerously diminishing distance between them. What's going on here? You 2 know each other already? How could I forget the face of my would-be killer? For the love of God, I did not try to kill you, but you'll certainly make me wish otherwise. You've lost the privilege of me trusting anything coming out of your mouth or made by your hands a long time ago. Ah, be prepared to lose trust in your face then. Calm down already. What the hell happened between you 2? She insulted me. After you tried to give me food poisoning. What? Food poisoning? I'm sorry, but not my fault your stomach can only handle carrots. Sure, the fault's on my stomach, not with your awful cooking. There's nothing wrong with my cooking. We almost botched a mission because I was too sick to even speak properly. Maybe you caught the flu or something on the way there. I'm starting to see what this is about, but what do they mean by a mission? Everyone, please! What kind of scatterbrain would get herself sick before going into dangerous territory? The kind who pairs magenta with green and red. It's my artistic vision! Yeah! Your artistic... Will you 3 please pay attention to me already? That was loud. Sorry, Penny. What was it? I'm sorry for being rude, but I needed to... Evelyn, Miss Blonde Hair. Jack. You can call me Jack. Nice to meet you. Jack, it's a pleasure. What I wanted to say is, you and Evelyn are being awfully negative right now. Bollocks. Crap. Huh? Why are they suddenly nervous? We should prepare. We don't really have that much time. There's something coming our way. Evelyn and Penny produce their weapons. A set of identical swords now hovers behind Penny's back, while Evelyn... Tonfa. She thrusts her hands behind her back, under her jacket, and when she moved them to the front again, 2 mechanical tonfa were attached to her wrists, pivoting into place twice before stomping in a position parallel to her forearms. Of all the places to meet carrots again. Jack just fell to the ground in a guard stance, bending her knees. There's no trace of a weapon on her body. But then again, there was no trace of Evelyn carrying Tonfa either. If Ruby's scythe is any indication, weapons have a compact form. I was thankfully holding onto my whip, and I can't exactly put my gauntlets away, so I'm more than prepared to fall into a square formation, our backs facing each other as we overlook our surroundings. Evelyn, what do you hear? Quick footsteps. Rapid, but not heavy. And there's a sound of rustling leaves, but no destruction. Is it a single enemy? Yes. For the love of... What exactly did Ozpin want us to hunt? Okay, I get the picture. Whatever we're supposed to hunt now is actually coming our way at breakneck speed. But how did it find us before we found it, if it was so far away? What do you mean, how? We were inches away from a catfight there. Jack, David suffers from amnesia. He knows very little about Remnant and the Grimm. You can't be serious. David, Grimm are attracted by negative emotions. What? You mean it found us because of your fight? Yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that in a Grimm-infested forest, but she gets on my nerves. We can do it later. Now focus, damn it! What do we know about this thing? It's getting closer. Ozpin said it's not native to the Emerald Forest. It was also implied to be particularly dangerous, so it's safe to assume it's not a common Grimm. So we're looking at a single dangerous Grimm who's agile enough to move through the thick forest without causing unnecessary damage, and whose footsteps are clicks. Doesn't sound like any Grimm I've ever encountered. Oh, darn it. I know what kind of Grimm it is. You do? It's a... The Grimm exited the forest from the tree line directly in front of me, so I'm the one who got the best look at it. I wish I hadn't. Its gangly figure slithers its way into the clearing. The middle legs touched the ground first, precisely setting onto the underbrush with nary a sound, while its posterior twins still rest on the tree. They're thin but strong, made of chitinous, lucid darkness. The tubular body of the Grimm progresses into a long neck and then produces a triangular head with large bulbous red eyes protruding from the mask of osseous material. The same hard substance covers the upper side of the body and the entirety of the two front legs. They're bigger and thicker than the ones that it walks on, split into 3 segments. The final parts raise slowly upwards as the Grimm settles properly onto the ground, like a pair of sawtooth butterfly knives. Its mandible lowers with a sickening click, and it emits a syllabar hiss as it stands thrice our height. So it's huge. What the hell is this thing? I have only faced Beowulf so far, so I am by no means an expert. Yet I'm convinced there's something fundamentally different about this Grimm. When I was facing the Beowulfs, I felt like a piece of meat about to be assaulted and mauled by a starving dog. But with this thing, it tilts its head over to the right ever so slightly, and my skin crawls. I feel sized up, like he's wondering which piece to carve out first, how to avoid killing me to enjoy his meal without spoiling the meat. A terrible, skillful gourmet of human flesh. It's a wailang. We'd better get out of this thicket immediately. We need open ground. I take a step back. It takes a step forward. There's a large glade to the north of here. One of Penny's swords makes an exaggerated swivel to the point north. The wailang bristles and clicks at us. You're so creepy! But wouldn't the forest give us more cover? No amount of cover will do us any good fighting this thing. I wanted to ask why and what was about to when the wailang gives us the answer. It's walking backwards up the tree, its eyes set on us as its body shimmers with the refracting light of the sun, and then, in a few seconds, it's no more. The wailang has gone from visible to translucent to one thing with the forest. Oh, shit. Let's get out of here! As we move through the tree line, I hear clicks, moving shrubbery, and creaking wood from a few feet behind us. Our pursuer is forgoing its grace in pursuit of its prey. It's right behind us, isn't it? Darn right it is. I'm not stopping the check! Can we even outrun it in the forest? I'm sorry that you couldn't be eased into this kind of situation, David, but sometimes you have no— Dark! Holy! We land in a roll, get back on our feet, and run past the felled tree, its top half crashing to the ground. Less talking, more running! What Evelyn said, not all enemies will allow you to think on your feet to move, David. Sometimes you just have to act. The trees! It's coming again! David, watch out! Dodge! Shit! Another tree falls victim to our pursuer. Better it than me, though. The Walang's front legs are sharp as steel. Glad to have you all still in one piece. And get blood on my best clothes? Remember, though, 99% of the time you only have a few seconds to choose what to do. How much further, Penny? 742. Ah! My eyes widen as I see a tree a few paces in front of us starting to fall to its side. The damn Grimm sped up in front of us and is trying to block our path. Jack hesitates, but for an instant. We can't slow down! That tree should slide under it! Good idea! Let's— What? I feel my aura flaring, its warmth pumping through my core all the way to my limbs. My body goes lighter and my steps quicken, hammering at the underbrush. The tree is still falling. We're not gonna make it! We're not gonna make it! We're not gonna make it! I can't believe we made it! Yes! Take that, you overgrown bug! As we tear through the thicket at breakneck speed, I realize I'm keeping up. Whatever guess the headmaster had about me, it's true. Penny and I have never tried to do something this intense during my training, but my body is keeping up with it. Keeping up with my teammates. The glade is right in front of us! What's the plan now? Depends. How do you feel, David? I feel great. We made the right choices, and always stayed one step ahead of our enemy. I feel fine. Don't worry about me. Glad to hear it. Listen up. The moment we break out of the thicket, turn around and fire everything you've got. Got it? I'm going middle. I'll aim high. I'll going low then. I may not be a good shot, but I can't miss aiming right in front of me. I'll join you, partner. On the count of 3. My left hand goes to a back pouch that Ruby gave me when she bought all the crystals. I didn't need to fish around since the only kind of dust I have right now is fire. With a small burst of aura, I feel the fire crystals shatter and disappear into my grip. The metal warms up, the creases of it and the black symbols coming alive with red light. The frustrated Grimm is hot on our tail, weaving through the inner sea of trees and crushing the smaller ones in its way, trying to reach us before we get out of the forest and it loses its advantage. 3, 2, 1! Did we get it? We got the tree line for sure. The area in front of us is riddled with burns, cuts, bullet holes, and smoke. I see no trace of our enemy, though. If it was dead, there should be a disappearing carcass somewhere, right? Or does an invisible Walang stay invisible even after death? Oh, we got him for sure, Jack says with a wry grin, but not one of the girls has put their weapons away yet. But it's not over yet. I turn around and that's when I see it again. The Walang. It's still alive, but heavily injured. Its left back leg and right middle leg are missing, and a pair of what I can identify as insectoid wings are damaged and riddled with holes, desperately trying to bend back under the white carapace on its back. It's downed and crippled. It can't get away from us. Final round, team. You ready? It's stumbling. Evelyn, now! Penny, give me a boost! Affirmative! David, go for its arms! Got it! My whip snaps through the air and wraps around the Walang's natural weapons. With muscles powered by aura, I pull it taut. Evelyn slams her fists together, the tonfa on her wrist connecting as they let go of her arms. The side of the tonfa produced 2 halves of a blade each, transforming the contraption into a bladed staff which she grabs out of thin air. The faunus crouches, and then Evelyn pirouettes through the air and lands on Penny's outstretched hands. The ginger shifts Evelyn's weight on her outstretched right leg, her hands shifting closer and closer to her chest under Evelyn's jumping momentum. Evelyn's quadriceps bulge and strain against her suit, and the earth cracks around Penny. She is a bunny. Penny pushes it forward, and Evelyn blasts off. Oh, crap. I did that the last time, too. Although, basically, what would have happened is Evelyn would have slammed into the Walang and it dies. I literally did that the last time, too. And there's no way for me to go back to it. So, it just has... We're just going to have to stick with that. Oopsies. And that takes care of it. Evelyn stands from her crouched position and separates the bladed staff into 2 tonfas again before sliding them back under her jacket, where they disappear. That was incredible. But, Jack, how did you know Evelyn could do that? This is not the first time we've fought together. As much as I hate to admit it, she's terribly good with that weapon of hers. Oh, right. They did mention some kind of mission they were on before. Still, good job, David. Penny? You reacted to our cues quickly and efficiently. That was great teamwork. For real? I've never worked on a team before, so I thought... Penny, you were incredible. More than that, spectacular! Your aim is true, and you didn't let me lose any momentum. It's like my legs were pushing off solid metal. It was no trouble at all. I just have a particularly deep knowledge of momentum and forces of reaction. And high physical strength. I'm no slouch, but damn, you're probably stronger than me. She gives the best hugs in the world, that's for sure. We're gonna need an orthopedist on standby if she hugs with her full strength. I can't help but laugh. A good, boisterous, long laugh that makes the last vestiges of tension leave my shoulders. We did it. We survived the initiation and passed the test. Well, it seems congratulations are in order, children. Headmaster Ozpin, you were watching? Not this closely all the time, but did you really think... Not this closely all the time, but did you really think we were going to let 4 children enter this forest on a dangerous mission without supervision? Yes! For all we know, you went all the way to Mistral to get a Walang just to make this test more difficult. Why, children, would you ever think we will? Yes! Anyway, are you here to take us back to Beacon, Headmaster? Among other things. The headmaster turns around and points to the ruins scattered throughout the large glade we're standing in. The Emerald Forest was once home to a flourishing civilization. It could be considered a precursor to modern Vale. But like civilizations are wont to do in Remnant, it fell. Those that came after it learned of its fall, from the internal strife and wars, and yet we repeated the same mistakes. Children, we live in a world where learning from the past is not good enough anymore, so what other option is left to us? This has suddenly got deep. and somber. Learning from the past doesn't help us avoid the same mistakes. Well, that's a given. It's because all events, including mistakes, are connected to their own times. Knowing about mistakes committed by your forefathers can only help you so much in a world that's continuously changing. So if the past is no good and you can't look to the future, the present? Yes, Mr. JPDE. We learn from what's around us. We learn from other people, especially those who are different from us. Only seeking to interact with those who think the same as you puts a limit on what can be learned from each other. Which is why it's important to try and make ties with as many people as possible, even those you may disagree with on certain issues. You four are as different from each other as can be. You all have unique pasts, ideologies, and aspirations, but it's my belief that despite these differences, you will rise to the challenges before you victorious, wiser, and more united for the experience. Just like you did earlier today. Jacqueline B. Ivory. Penny Polendina. David D. Cabagis. Evelyn Demerat. From this day forward and forevermore, led by Ms. Ivory, you will be Team Jade. Wait a minute! There's no A in either of Penny's initials! And with that, we conclude the prologues, and I am going to conclude this video. But yeah, alright, so Team Jade, or aka Team JPDE, whatever you want to call them, have now officially been formed with Jack's inclusion. And I gotta say, honestly, I kind of want them to produce a wailang. I want them to create a wailang for the actual RWBY TV show, because I think it would be awesome to see that thing roam around. But anyway, I'm going to save this game here. I hope you enjoyed that. In the meantime, thank you for joining me. This was ArcAlpha12, and I shall see you in the next video. One last thing. As is customary for bacon. Bacon.